This is Robert Kraft, and I'm your host on SNN.Network. And joining me right now is Jennifer McCarron. She is the CEO of Thunderbird Entertainment. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is TBRD on the TSX venture. Jennifer, thank you for joining me today. How are you doing?
Wonderful, Robert. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you. Thank you for joining us, and also thank you for participating in our the SNN.Network virtual conference this week. I invite everybody to go check out Jennifer's presentation. It was quite excellent.
Thank you. No, great to be here.
Absolutely. So this is our first time doing an interview together. I don't expect this to be the last, but since it is the first, let's start off with a quick overview and history of the company, and then we'll go from there.
Absolutely. So Thunderbird Entertainment was founded in 2003 with a goal set out to become a premium quality content provider, owning intellectual property, and then leveraging and exploiting that intellectual property through consumer products, distribution, whatnot. They bought two divisions, Atomic Cartoons and Great Pacific Media, which are factual and kids and family companies. And together we've grown. It's an amazing time to be in content. The need is exploding. And we're just under 1,000 employees today, with offices in Vancouver, British Columbia, Los Angeles, Ottawa, Ontario, and Toronto, Ontario.
Excellent. So tell me a little bit more about what would you say makes the company unique and different compared to some of your peers out there right now?
I think the type of work we're doing. This summer alone, we've won the Peabody Award for our show Molly of Denali, which ties into our mission statement, which is trying to create content that, provides a healthy escape for people and might make the world a better place. And the Peabody Award recognizes stories that matter. And more recently, last week, we won the Emmy Award for Best Outstanding Class Animated Program for Last Kids on Earth. The teams did a great job. And so I think what makes us stand out is our focus on quality and authenticity. And we really are just trying to make people happy.
Hey, look, right now, I think we could all we just want to see happy entertainment and escapism. I mean, that's, I think everyone has that as a priority.
Say, even if we're helping parents boil potatoes safely and there's some good quality content on for their kids, hey, that's a win.
Absolutely. So, you made an interesting point earlier that this is quite a time to be in the content space. And your company happens to create a lot of cartoons. I would assume that there's a lot of demand for cartoon entertainment because it's something that's it's not easy. I'm not saying that, but especially right now, it's easier considering it's so difficult to figure out the logistics for getting people in person together to shoot anything. So have you been seeing a bit of a, I guess you'd call it a headwind, right? A headwind for more of your content?
You're totally right. I mean, interestingly enough, the two main drivers of our company are animation and factual, both of which can work right now. Animation, we quickly got over 700 people off site, meeting security protocols, didn't miss any deliveries. The factual division, it was more guerrilla style, documentary style filmmaking with a couple people out, and then all the work happens back in editorial. And we had a very small footprint in scripted. One show, Kim's Convenience, which true, you can't shoot live action right now. So there is an increased demand for factual and animated content for two reasons. One, it can be made right now, and two, all of the streamers, it's the stickiest part that they're looking for co-viewing audiences. How do you get families together watching content? And the two main drivers of successfully gluing families are documentary style shows and kids and family style shows. So we're lucky because that's a key part of, everyone I talk to, Disney, Peacock, Netflix, that's their strategy because they need to glue subscribers.
That's a great segue because I want to talk about the business model. There's, in the entertainment industry, there's so many different ways we can skin this cat, right? So what would you say is the company's main business model and how you're recognizing revenue for the company?
Yeah, so we've got three business models. One is intellectual property, where we create and lift shows, and then that copyright stays in our library forever for us to distribute around the world, to sell it over and over again, and create consumer product lines, toys, video games. One example of that would be Last Kids on Earth, where we have a toy line coming out this year, as well as a video game, console, mobile, microtransaction next year. We also have a healthy service business. So that's when we're approached to do lift service shows. An example of that would be 101 Dalmatians for Disney Plus. And then we've got a partnership model where, you know, we handle all the creative, stem to stern, and then receive a piece of the back end. So we make a healthy profit doing the shows, just making them. And then the ability of this IP to be leveraged into all these different ancillary businesses, like skating shows or toys or games or bed sheets, you name it, is sort of limitless. And a good example of how valuable that IP can be is, you know, Hasbro buying E1 recently for $5 billion. That was because of shows like Peppa the Pig.
Absolutely. And what's your background? You know, you mentioned that the company was started back in 2003. So what led you in your career to where you're currently at today?
Well, it's great. I went to university, did a fine arts degree, film school at the Vancouver Film School, started working in animation as an office production assistant, worked my way up with different promotions. So grew up on the kids and family side. And then, so I was president of Atomic when Thunderbird bought us. And then shortly before Thunderbird went public, they asked me to become CEO of all of Thunderbird. So that's been another sort of great challenge and experience. And yeah, so my background is very operational, I would say.
Absolutely. Now, I wanted to ask you another question because, you know, this past week, we're recording this on August 7th. One of the panels that we did at our event was the importance of women representation on small, micro, nano cap executive teams and boardrooms. And I know we were slated to participate, but the connections and it, you know, that happens. It's all good. But I wanted to ask you one of the questions from that panel because when we were doing our pre-call, you gave a great answer to it. And my question is to you then, you know, based on your experiences and observation, why is it important for women representation on small, micro, and nano cap executive teams and boardrooms?
I think, you know, thank you for shining a light on this, Robert. I think that companies do better when there's more diverse people around the table, be it gender or ethnicity. It's crucial that you get different voices and perspectives, especially in 2020. And I think the more, you know, you can step forward as a woman when those opportunities arise, then the greater the chances are of younger women following a similar path, because I've always thought, if you can see it, you can be it. And I, you know, still go into most of the boardrooms and investment communities, and I'm the only woman there. And so I think normalizing it and still, you know, I have 3 kids. They're my main priority. I still am the hot dog lady at my kids' school. Like, I haven't let other parts go. And so I think, again, that notion of if you can see it, you can be it. In Canada, there is, it's a well-known fact, there's more CEOs called John than there are women. And so how do we change that narrative? The world will be healthier. Women have a different approach to business. It doesn't, you know, take away from anything. It's just additive.
Absolutely. I didn't mean to laugh, but it's, I mean, it shines a light on something that should be changed in a comical way, but at the same time, it needs to change.
Yes, and we really appreciate you shining a light on it.
It's because of the work that you and other women and your colleagues that you're doing right now that it's important to do so. You know, so thank you for all that. And to close out this interview today, from what you can tell us, you know, on with Thunderbird Entertainment, what are some of the value catalysts now moving forward for, let's say, the rest of 2020 going into 2021?
Yeah, I think we're debt free. We have zero debt. So we're at a great place to be very nimble, opportunistic. We're at the top of our game in terms of providing high quality content. There's never been a better time to be doing what we're doing. And going forward, watch us to increase ownership in the ways that we leverage and exploit that content.
And Jennifer, where can our audience go and find everything they need to know about Thunderbird Entertainment?
Just go right to Thunderbird.TV. You'll see links to our IR deck, all of our financial information, and you can dig into all of the shows we're doing in both divisions, Great Pacific Media and Atomic Cartoons.
Well, with that, Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us today. I really do appreciate it. Stay safe, good luck, and I look forward to our next update.
Yeah, stay safe, and thank you again, Robert.
Thank you.